You all, it is Friday. Is it Friday today? What a week it's been. I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for joining me today. Am I live? I'm just checking I'm live. Okay, yeah, we are live. So today I'm going to be making with you some very lovely little bracelets. They're quite dainty, they're quite sweet, and I think they're the most beautiful colours. We've got 4 colour choices for you today, but we have a bundle offer on, so you can get whichever colour you want in this bundle. You can make whatever you fancy. So drop me a comment. Where are you watching from? What are you up to? How are you doing? How's your week been? And what have you got planned for the weekend ahead? The weather here is rather dull, but the beads will brighten the place up again. So good morning to lovely Lucy. How are you doing today, sweetheart? Are you well? I'm going to take you over to the website. I'm going to show you these offers. I know some of you have already messaged me this morning to say that you've been on and you've been looking and you're very excited by the bundle. So I won't keep you in suspense much longer. Good morning to Janice. Hello to Francis, who says good morning, everybody. Good morning to Mina, who says good morning, Natalie and Beading family. Janice says good morning all. Camille says, good morning, miss. I hope you're well. Rather dull here too. I'm sure Camille is referring to the weather. Right, let me take you over to the webpage on our wonderful Totally Bead site. And you can see these gorgeous, gorgeous things. Hello, Mina says, oh, I love a bundle. And the order is placed already. Good morning to Frinton. Hello to Joy. Good morning to Anne. I'm looking a bit blurry. Right, well, before we go over to the website, I'm looking a bit blurry. Let me check my settings. Let me know that you can see me okay. You can hear me okay. The webcam is looking like it should be. Could try going into this one, see if that makes any difference. Let's go and check audio's okay as well. Any better? It might be the light. It's awfully dark in here. Where am I up to? Where am I up to saying hello to you all before I take you to the website? Mina is saying good morning to Camille. Janice says she's already ordered everything. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Camille says, I'm never dull. I know you're not, my lovely. Good morning to Kath, who's my mummy. How are you doing today, Mum? Oh, Lucy says it's a bit better. That's good. You can see me on my full definition glory now. Good morning to Elaine. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. She's in a dull Accrington. Again, I'm sure she's just referring to the weather. I'm sure Accrington is not a dull place at all. Good morning to Pauline. She says, hi, Natalie and everybody here. Hello to Carol. Hello, my lovely Pauline. She says, I'm looking blurry too. I hope down on the mat I'm okay. I don't really know what it is. Joy says I'm okay on YouTube, but she couldn't get on Facebook. There did seem to be a slight delay this morning, so I don't really know what's going on. It's Friday, isn't it? It's usually Monday morning gremlins, but they're at me today. I need to be good karma, good energy. Make sure that we've not got any tech issues. Camille says I'm still blurry. Oh dear. Right, let's check what the camera's like down on the mat for you as well in a minute. Good morning to Joanne. She says, good morning, cloudy yet sunny today. I hope you're all okay. Judith says, good morning, as does our wonderful Elaine. Francis is saying I'm blurry here too. Kath's telling me it's a soft focus. Well, I could definitely do with that. Don't really know what to do to change it. I've had a look in my settings. Let's see if I go down on the mat in a little bit. If that's blurry, I'll try and come out and come back in again. Hi, Debbie. How you doing, my love? Right, let's go over to the website. totallybeads.co.uk is where you can find our absolute amazing wonders, as you know. So if you are wanting to get into our video tutorial categories, and you can see all the wonderful stuff that we make 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, you can click in the category section here. You can scroll to this big logo here, or you can just drop down on the main menu and click into video tutorials that way. Lots of ways to get into us. Don't forget, we do ship worldwide, so if you want to change the currency, you can do so just there at the top. And today, look at my bracelets. The Mariana bracelet is what we're doing. I think they're so lovely. Now, each kit's going to make up one bracelet and it's £5.99. Or you can get 2 different kits for £10. Now, everything you're going to need is in your kit included. We've got the most beautiful opaque colours. They're very, very spring-like and just so lovely. But if you want to really go to town, look at the bundle we've got on the crystal bicones today. 9 different colours for you in the premium 4mm crystals. They should be £22.50. They are £12.99, which is an absolute bargain. And you can use any of those 4mm crystal bicones, any of them at all, in this bracelet design. So why not treat yourself? Why don't you get one of the kits or maybe 2 of the kits? Use the seed beads out of there because you get loads of seed beads, and then you can mix and match your crystal bicones as well. So I'll show you the colours. As I say, each kit is £5.99. We've got the beautiful aqua opaque, a nude opaque, a pink opaque, and a teal. I'm loving the teal. I'm wearing kind of that colour today, so I'm going to let you choose what you want me to demo with today. I'm thinking something that's going to show up on screen. The teal probably will show quite well. And I have done a little start off one anyway, so if we start to run out of time, I'll show you how to attach the clasps on and finish off your bracelet, probably with the teal anyway. But if you would like me to start off with a different colour, you just let me know. So, into the aqua. In your kits today, you are going to get your gorgeous premium crystal bicones, which are 4mm. You're going to get your nylon thread. You can use any thread you like with this design. I'm going to use the nylon thread because I just really like it. I find it really easy. I find it stiff enough that I don't need to do a needle with it. And you know, I'm not a stitch beader. If you want to do your needles, you can do. We've put big eye needle there for you if you want to use it. I'm just going to be using my hands. You can use 2 needles if you want to. It's a very basic version really of like a right angle weave. So you can use any thread you want, but in your kit you're going to get your nylon thread. That means you're not going to be able to see it at all. It's almost, well, it is invisible. I have tried to colour the ends of it today, the piece that I'm going to be using, just so you can kind of see that a little bit more if the camera allows. You're also going to get 2 little jump rings. We're using the 4 by 0.7mm jump rings, so they're very dainty and very, very sweet, and they're just going to help you attach the gorgeous magnetic clasps that we've got in your kit for you, and of course the Toho seed beads, which are trusty size 11s. So I don't think you really need any tools for this other than 2 pairs of pliers, so your chain nose or your flat nose, just to open up those jump rings, and a pair of scissors or cutters just to trim the ends when you've finished. But if you want to use a needle as well, you can do. This is what your gorgeous aqua opaque looks like. This is it on my wrist. Now pop that little kind of holder inside just so you can see what it looks like when it's stood up. And this is it, beautiful and flat on the table. Aqua opaque, absolute gorgeous blue colour for you today. If you're wanting to know exactly what's in your kit in terms of your seed beads, you can scroll down there. So we're using the silver findings in terms of your magnetic clasp and also your jump rings. You've got those beautiful premium aqua bicones, and I'm using the silver lined crystal Toho size 11s there as well. £5.99 to make a beautiful bracelet up, or 2 for £10. This one is your nude. Again, everything you need in your kit there. So I'll just scroll through some of these pictures so you can see what it looks like. It's very, very dainty, very, very sweet. It's not a big chunky bracelet. It's very elegant, really easy to do, and I think creates a very lovely look. Again, if you want to see, well, what colour are my seed beads that I'm getting in there, because I'm going to get the crystal bicone bundle and I want to see what's going to work well. You've got the frost rosaline here. They are very lovely, and I think they're fairly neutral as well, so they would probably go with pretty much anything, as would the ones that we were using on the blue colour that I've just shown you, the aqua. They're like a little silver colour. They're just silver lined and they're clear, so they would go with everything as well. In your pink opaque kit today, this is what it looks like. It's really, really lovely. I do love these bracelets very much. Again, you're getting everything you need in your kit today. You're getting your 4.0.7 jump rings. You're getting your magnetic clasp, which is 11 by 6mm, your size 11 Toho seed beads, and your 4mm crystal bicones, as well as all that nylon thread as well. And lastly, we've got the teal opaque. It's just gorgeous. It's the most beautiful colour. I am very much feeling this today, but as I say, I'm wearing a similar colour. So, I mean, you know, if you've got some seed beads in like an orange colour as well, I think they'd look beautiful together. So that is your teal opaque. Now I'm going to take you into the bundle because I just think for 9 colours of your premium 4mm crystal bicones, £12.99 is an absolute steal. You can do anything you want with a crystal bicone. There's just so many different options. This is a really lovely and very simple technique that you could use with them as well. Look at all the colours that you're getting in there. So you're going to get, there's approximately 80 beads per string, and you're going to get 9 different colours of them. So there's a whole lot there to play with. And it says there, the colours shown in the photo are what you will get. So they're really, really gorgeous. I would take advantage of that offer if, you know, you like a bicone. And I know Armina does. She's been very excited by this. Right, let me stop sharing the screen and let me see what colour that you want to play along with. Let me see. Oh, I've got loads of you in today. Hello, my lovelies. So David said, I look okay on YouTube. Oh, David, you're smoothie. He said, beautiful as ever. Well, thank you very much. You're going to make me blush. Lucy says she's already bought this bundle. She's on it. Sheila says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. You look fine to me. Well, thank you, Sheila. Can see your pretty top anyway. Thanks, Pauline. It's a dress and it's got pockets, which is what clenched it for me. I love a pocket. It's usually got crystals and all sorts in there, and tissues and toys from the little one. Pauline says, hello, morning to Amelia. I am blurry on Facebook. I don't know what's going on now. Lucy says I'm picture perfect. It's just when it's on you. Well, do you know what? I can afford to be blurry as long as my down camera is okay and you can see what I'm doing. Claire is asking, have I wiped the camera lens with a gentle cloth? Do you know what, Claire? I'm going to do that. I'm going to get one of my jewellery polishing cloths and I'm just going to go like this. Where have I gone? Is that any better? Sometimes it's tech, sometimes it's user error. Claire says, yeah, wipe the camera, I've tried that. Francis says, everything's okay when I'm on the mat, hopefully. Lucy shared the link today. So if you're joining us and wondering what you're doing, where we can get the kits, then here is the link for you, totalybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials /Mariana bracelets. Thank you very much for that. Good morning to Sue. Yeah, Joanne says there's always about a 30-second delay on YouTube and I'm still a little bit fuzzy. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, is it any better now? I've wiped it. Good morning to Catherine. I think Janice has got all of the kits, which is wonderful. Lucy says it's a fab price for those bicones, premium too. Thank you, Totally Beads, for a fab bargain. Yeah, I'm going to say thanks, Simon, because he's the one that sorts the lovely offers for us. Sue has said teal. Joy has said aqua. Mina said she spent a fortune on her order. I know, but what was the saying that we agreed a long time ago in lockdown? Don't think about what you're spending, think about what you're saving, and then that makes it feel a little bit better. Or think about the profit you're making when you sell your lovely things, or when you're gifting your makes, and it saves you going out and buying any extra presents. Good morning to Sharon. She says, good morning, creative beading ears. Mina's asking what size nylon I'm using. It's a 0.25, this one, Mina, but as I say, you can use any thread with this. Debbie saying a black Sharpie on the end of the inches of 2 inches on the plastic thread. I didn't use a Sharpie, I used a felt tip pen, and I used 2 different colours, but I still don't know whether you'll be able to see it. I used a little bit of purple on one end and a little bit of red on the other. It probably still won't show, but I'll explain it verbally to you as well. Janice says her last order was huge. Joanne is wanting the aqua. Mina saying she loves all the kit colours, especially the pink, and the gold and teal looks great. Catherine says teal. Good morning to everyone. Such a lovely sunny morning here in Perth, says Anna. I think I'm still fuzzy. Donna is in a very early morning in the USA, so thank you so much for joining us. Pauline says it looks better. Mina says it's a bit better. Carol says I still look blurry. Frances says I still look blurry. Janice has got all the kits and the bundles. Claire says she loves the pink, and I've got those exact bicones, but I think the teal will show up better. Apparently I'm okay on Facebook again now. Oh, Joanne says, on YouTube, it looks like you're recording abroad. Well, if you're watching me in the USA, I am abroad. Or if you're watching me in Australia, I am abroad. Or if you're watching me anywhere other than the UK. Good morning to Hannah. How are you doing? And Pauline's liking the teal. Right, we're going to do teal. Let me take you down on the mat. Let me see. Please let me know. Is this okay? Can you see our gorgeous, gorgeous colours? Is it fuzzy? I'm hoping it's not looking fuzzy on my end, but then it never does. So let me just take you through the colours very quickly. This one here is your nude opaque. If I can just hold that up to the camera. It's just such a soft, beautiful colour. And obviously it's gonna go with everything. Oh, good. It's perfect on the mat. It's just me that's blurry. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little blurry as well, to be honest. I need more coffee. Oh, good. It is clear on the mat. Beautiful. That's really good to know. So you're getting these lovely little magnetic clasps, which means your bracelets are going to go on super, super easy. So that one is your nude opaque. This one is your aqua. So you've got those gorgeous little silver line Toho seed beads running through. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, Joy. This one is going to have your silver findings. So again, look how easy it is to just pop these bracelets on. You know, I always struggle popping my bracelet on in the live. Done. It's just so lovely. They are the easiest things to take on and off. Let's hold that still so you can see that beautiful colour. Gorgeous. And, you know, we're using the premium Bicone, so there's such a lovely, lovely cut on them. You can see how it's faceted. It's going to get that extra sparkle. I agree, Pauline. Maybe it is just me and it's not the camera that's blurry. I'm feeling a little fuzzy, I suppose. I've not been sleeping great lately. Sue says, I love them all, but it's the teal that's standing out for me. Look at that one. I mean, is that not going to go perfectly with my dress? And again, look how easy it is to put on. And you're getting loads in your kit, so you can make these to whatever length that you want to. Gorgeous, gorgeous colours for you. And we can't do a live without including a pink. We don't want to upset anybody, do we, Lucy? So here is your beautiful pink colourway. It's so gorgeous. Lovely little bicones just running through, matching that gorgeous colour. And this one is going to be with your gold. Super easy to put on. Janice says, my kitten Willow is pestering me while I'm trying to watch. Ah, let your kitten sit, mind you. If you're beading, cats are the worst, aren't they, for like knocking things over and playing with your beads. Okay, let's get going. We have to be, well, I say we have to be quick. We don't. It's a quick make. So I'm using my nylon thread. You're not going to be able to see it too well but I have tried to colour the ends so it shows up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to use about 1 metre of this, so 100 centimetres of my nylon thread. When you first get it off your reel, it will be really, really curly. Where have I put my actual reel to show you? Down on the table somewhere, there it is. So when I take it off the reel, it's all curled up. You probably can't see. If I hold it in my hand, you might be able to see it a little bit better against my hand. And it will be very curly, but still really easy to use. A top tip, which I think was originally I learned from the wonderful Sarah Millsop, was if you pop your nylon thread in a little bit of warm water for a few minutes, it will just take the kinks out of it. So that's what I've done just to stop it being so curly. It's still got a bit of a curl to it, but it should be easy enough to work with. Claire Lou is asking, would this work with 3mm rondelles too? I don't see why not. Camille, I don't know where the lilac one is, but get yourself the Bicone bundle. I'm sure there's a lovely colour in there to suit you. David says, what a bargain. And Joanne has got the blue and the pink. Thank you so much. Right. To start myself off, I'm going to get my gorgeous seed beads out. I'm going to just pop my little packet on the table, and I'm going to get my bicones too. Look at them. They're so pretty. And you're getting loads on this string. Bear in mind, I have already been using some of these. So I'm just going to open up my string, and I'm going to set them to the side just for now while I start off with my bicones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 8 of my gorgeous seed beads. One pinch and it was exactly right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one end of my nylon thread and I'm going to pop them on. And then once they're on, I'm just going to drop them down so they sit in the middle. So to find the middle of my thread, I'm just going to bring those 2 ends up together, and then they should fall down into the center. So if you want to, you can use a needle. Lots of people find it just easier to use the tools. For me, I don't know. I wouldn't say I've got a phobia of them, but I just like working with my hands. So I'm going to take those 2 ends of my thread and I'm just going to let them fall right into the middle down there. Claire says, I think it would work. Try it out. This is a really good design that you can pretty much use anything with it. David says, I love making to sell and I've got an online stall. 23 on creative craft fairs. Oh, and he's called Crystal Craft Studio. So if you're going to creative craft fairs, have a little look out for David and his fabulous makes. Joanne says, I think the mix bundle will be finding its way into my basket too. Get in. And Lucy, I am quite allergic to needles. Okay, so I've popped my 8 seed beads onto the middle. And then I'm just going to take one of my gorgeous teal coloured bicones. And I'm going to pop that onto one end of my thread. See, I can already see on my finger there, it looks like I've cut myself. It's the colour off my from my felt tip, so that didn't work. So I apologise if I've already wiped off the end. Let's just show you the first bit and then you'll know. So I'm taking the other end of my thread. So I've got 2 ends here, and I'm just going to take one and pop it through the bicone as well. So I've got my left end and my right end just coming through that bicone. Can you see that okay? And then I'm going to give them a little pull down. So I'm pulling on both of the ends, and that is going to create a tiny little loop. And that's what I'm going to attach my little jump ring and my magnetic clasp to at the end. And this is how straightforward it is. All I'm going to do now, pour a few of those out, is I'm going to pick up one bicone. Where are they on? Sorry. I'm going to take a seed bead, and then I'm going to take a bicone, And then I'm going to take another seed bead and I'm going to place that on one end, and on the other end of my thread, I'm going to do exactly the same. Seed bead, bicone, seed bead. They all both drop down into the middle, trying to find my end. Where's it gone? There it is. And then I'm going to bring them together just exactly the same with an additional bicone. So you can pop your bicone on the left, the right, doesn't matter. Bring your other end or the other side through and give it a little pull down so it reaches that first loop, and we've got that first little cluster of our beads. And I'm just going to keep repeating that over and over and over and over and over again until I've got the length that I'm after. So onto one end is a seed bead, a bicone, and another seed bead. Onto the other end, exactly the same, seed bead, bicone, and a seed bead. So each side I'm popping exactly the same little amount on, taking one of my bicones, and it's the bicone that I'm adding through both ends that will kind of join it together and form that loop. So what I'm doing is making sure that my thread will then go in one direction here. So you can see it's coming from this side, sticking out, and then the other side is going to go back through the middle of that bead, like so. And then I can just keep pulling that down, and that's creating another little loop. Lucy says it's a really cute make and she loves it. Anna's saying, would this work with fireline? I'm never keen on working with nylon. I'm honestly convinced this would work with any thread. You could probably even do it with a very thin gauge wire if you wanted to. I would probably do it with maybe a 0.4 because obviously we need to make sure that we can go through the hole in the seed beads. But yeah, a fireline would work as well, or a Superlon, whatever you want to use, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I say I quite like the nylon thread personally because it's got that stiffness to it, so I find it easier just to thread whatever it is I'm using directly onto that. And I can just manage to scatter my bicones absolutely everywhere. There's all in my keyboard. Do you know what? Rather the bicones everywhere than the seed beads everywhere. Hey, it's not the end of the world. I will find them as soon as we finish the live. So you can use it really easily, I think, just to thread on through. If you're using a needle, you can, use whatever you want. Where's the other end gone? See, it's helpful to colour the ends just so I can see what I'm doing, really. So I've put them both onto each side, I've brought that through, and I'm just going to keep bringing it down, and it will start to make those little loops. Good morning, Angela. She says, sorry I'm late. I've told you we don't take attendance here. You come in and out whenever you fancy. If you can't catch us live, then as soon as I've finished, this will be able to watch back. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on the website. And you can watch whenever is convenient for you. But thank you so much for joining us today. So if you are just joining us, we are doing the Mariana bracelet, which is really, really simple. As I say, I suppose it's a very simplistic version of a right angle weave. We're just adding a seed bead, a bicone, and a seed bead onto each end of my nylon thread that I'm using. If I can find it. It's because my mat is white as well, so it doesn't really help. When I've been making these, I haven't been making them at this table. I tend to make on a little tray, so I've been able to see what I'm doing a little bit easier. I'm just going to keep going with that process. So seed bead, bicone and a seed bead, and it doesn't matter which order you put these on. You can start on the left side, you can start on the right side. I tend to just keep hold of both ends as I do it to save me picking it up and putting it down and losing it. Seed bead, bicone and a seed bead, and then going to take another bicone, thread that onto either my left strand or my right strand, doesn't matter, as long as the opposite one goes back through the same hole in that same bicone, and then I can pull on the ends to bring it all together and create my loop. So you can see it's coming together really quite quickly. It's a very quick process, and I think quite a nice process, because you don't have to be, you know, sitting and counting how many of this I've got, how many of that I've got. It's a pretty simple pattern to just repeat, but I think it gives quite a nice width to your bracelet as well. It's quite delicate. It's very light to wear, and I just think the colours are really very summery because they're quite, well, they are opaque. You've got, they're quite pastel like, really. So you've got that lovely nude, the pink, the aqua, and this is the teal. You could, if you're taking advantage of the offer today and you are getting 2 kits, you could mix them up. You could create a little rainbow of them if you wanted. So I'm using all of one colour in the teal, but you could maybe put them together. So when you thread your bicone on and bring your ends through to create this middle one that runs through the middle, you could do that with a completely different colour if you wanted to. There's lots of different ways that you can create your own unique look with this. Anna says, Lucy, that's how I feel. My eyesight gets tired trying to thread the needles. I don't know what it is. It's not a phobia of them. I feel like I'm a lot more finger and thumbs. And maybe it's because, you know, I'm predominantly a wire wrapper. I like using my wire for makes, for weaves and things. It's a very tactile kind of way of making. You know, I'm using my hands. Obviously, I've got tools as well, but it's all done with my hands. And I think for me, the thing that I really enjoy is not just doing something with your hands, but also kind of feeling those materials. I find having something that's quite tactile, I think, is what I enjoy. It's what I find quite relaxing to do. Lucy says, I can't even thread a needle. I only use big eye needle. I only tend to use a big eye needle too. And then, oh my gosh, they bend on me so much. The amount I will snap and break. I did see one hack, which I will try and do one day actually for you and show you to see if it works. And it's like you pop it, your thread on top of like a toothbrush, and then wiggle your needle over the top, and that pushes the thread through. There's lots of different hack ways and cheat ways to thread your needle. But it's funny, I don't mind sewing. I'm all right. You know, I can darn a sock or whatever. So I'm just placing on there my seed bead, my bicone and my seed bead onto each end. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say, you know, I'm good at like crocheting or knitting or embroidery or anything like that. But I can sew a button on, back through, and then pulling that down. Claire says, is the nylon still strong enough if I use a toggle clasp? Should I go through the ends twice? Yeah, I would do. When I've attached my clasp onto this, I then run my thread back through the thread path just to give it that extra little bit of strength, really. And I'll do a surgeon's knot as well, because that's what I like. One of the things I like about using the nylon thread, as well as it being very strong, you can tie little knots in it. Your knots remain quite small, but they also remain invisible because, well, it's see-through. Lucy's saying a toothbrush. I've not heard of that before. I will have to check. I've never done it, so don't know whether it works or it's just one of those pointless suggestions. I'll try and let you know. Oh, Camille says I've tried that. It didn't work for me, but when she did the toothbrush trick. Okay, well, at least we know. So I'm just going to keep going, repeating this pattern. Really straightforward, really, really easy, just until I get the length that I want. So I'm just adding on my seed bead and my bicone and my seed bead onto each end, and then threading them both back through the middle of a bicone. And that's going to create these lovely little loops. I've completely rubbed the colour off the ends of my thread. Maybe, well, I could have put a little bit of nail varnish or something on it, but then I don't want it to be too clumpy and not go through my seed beads. But I think a Sharpie and other pens are available. But I think whoever it was who suggested Sharpie would have been a good idea. To be honest, I just had felt tip pens out on the side and thought they'll do. I don't know where I've put my Sharpies. Lucy says, I know now why my grandma used to ask me to thread needles. I couldn't understand why she couldn't do them, and I get it now. Yeah, I mean, I've got quite good eyesight. I've got quite good close-up eyesight anyway. I used to wear glasses because I was short-sighted, so I couldn't see far away. But I had my eyes lasered about 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And honestly, best thing I've ever done. The thought now of having to put my contacts in of a morning and things like that. I mean, I probably will need glasses again at some point, you know, as we get older, our eyesight and everything else deteriorates, doesn't it? So I might need reading glasses or something, but right now I'm okay. You can also get like little magnifying kind of head pieces that you can wear. So if you're doing something very intricate, you can kind of, you don't have to wear it on your head. You can get them as table like stands as well. Janice is asking what size nylon thread. This is the 0.25 that I'm using. I think, I'm pretty sure it is. That will all be included in your kit for you. So I'm going to keep going. I have got one I've made earlier, so I might move over to that one in a little while so I can show you just how to finish it off. But you're going to get loads of these in your kit. Your bag of your Toho seed beads, you're getting so many in there. You're getting loads on a string as well of your bicones. So you can make these to whatever length you fancy. Your clasp isn't going to add that much additional length onto your bracelet. Maybe, I wouldn't even say it's quite an inch, to be honest, because we're using those gorgeous small little jump rings. So all I would do is just hold it out flat. It will straighten up. It's curling a little bit at the moment. And then I would just measure it against my ruler. So already in the 10 minutes, I'm already at 4 inches there. So just keep going with that. Let me move that one to the side and bring this one in. So this one now, which I think is probably long enough for me. Once my clasp is on, it will stretch out a little bit as well if need be. that is about 6 inches. So I might just add an extra one onto that. I don't know what Anna is replying to you, Lucy, but she says, great idea. Have I missed a comment? I may have done. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going until I've got the length that I want. Seed bead, bicone and seed bead onto each length. I would like to try this with maybe mixing up the colours as well. You know, adding that different coloured bicone into the middle. Or you could make some really lovely rainbow effects if you want to take advantage of that bundle offer today as well. When I'm happy with the length I've got, I'm just going to do the usual of adding on my bicone and bringing it through, giving it a little pull down together. So you can see this thread here that I used, I hadn't quite straightened it out. I just used it when it was super curly. So it will lay flat after a little while, but for now it has gone a little bit bumpy. Oh, big eye needles, Lucy says. David says it's just started to do that fine rain here, and he uses a light magnifying device for threading needles. I bend needles so much, and the eyes that I have had loads of size 10 needles, and he likes all threads. When you're happy, clap your hands. What, Camille? Don't know what you're talking about, but I'm very happy, so there you go. I'm clapping my hands for you. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create that same little loop that I did at the beginning. So I'm going to take one end of my thread and I'm going to add on 8 of my seed beads. Put lotion on my hands and they're starting to feel a little bit slippy as my hands have warmed up. So hopefully I won't be all fingers and thumbs. So just count, I've got 8 on there. Yeah, so I've added 8 seed beads onto the end. I'm going to take the other end of my thread. I haven't coloured these ends, so hopefully you will see. And just like I've done with the bicone where I've run that thread back through, I'm going to take the other end and run it back through all of those seed beads. So I'm taking all 8 of the seed beads that I've just added on. Again, you might find this easier to do with a needle. But all I'm going to do is just run that thread all the way back through. Very curly. So I have them like this, and I'm just gonna give that a little pull down, and once I've pulled both ends it will make that little loop again. So just keep giving it a pull on either side and it will create that loop for you. You see I've got that little loop there on the same side. Now I've used 8 because I want an even number when I pop my little jump ring on. So my jump ring is going to sit in the middle, so I'll have 4 on either side. Now I've threaded that through and created that little loop, I'm just going to take one end of my thread and I'm going to run it back through the bicone. So you can see I've got the thread that comes out this side. It's so curly. And I'm just going to run it through the bicone. So it's coming out the other side. And then those nylon threads will be sitting next to each other just here. I'm going to make sure I've pulled it tight to create that loop. And I'm just going to do a little surgeon's knot. So I'm going to talk you through the surgeon's knot because I don't know whether you can see it at all in my hands now. But I've got one hand in my left and one hand in my left. I've got one thread in my hand on my left hand and one in my right, and I'm going to cross that over. So I'm taking my left over my right, and I'm just going to bring that all the way through and give it a little pull. I'm then going to take the hand, my right hand, and cross that over the left thread. Bring that all the way through and bring it down and give it a knot. Now I'm going to take one or the other, it doesn't matter which. I'm going to do left over right again, and I'm going to bring that through once, and then I'm going to bring it through twice again. So I've wrapped that round twice. Can I put it there across my hand? And then I'm just going to draw them down together again. So I've created a very small little knot just at the top here, which you can't really see at all. It's nice and thin. You can do whatever knot you want. You just want to create something which is just going to hold it in place. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the ends of my thread and I'm just going to run it back through the thread path just a little bit. I don't have to go all the way through everything, like the full length of my bracelet. But all I'm going to do is just bring it through enough so when I do cut my ends off, that then they're not gonna, I'm not cutting by that knot. So I'm taking both ends of my thread. I'm going to run that one back through the bicone on the other side, so it comes out the other side. I don't know if I'm in camera there. Sorry about that. Again, what we're talking about our eyesight. I do hold it right close up to my face so I can see what I'm doing. So that thread has now just come out there. And I have another one just coming out here. And I'm just going to run that along, going back through some of the bicones and some of the seed beads. So I'm just running it along the side. Pulling it through. Just really to move it away from that knot. So as I say, when it comes to then trimming off, I'm not going to be trimming close to that knot. And again on the other side. Now if you were to bring it all the way back through the bracelet, you would probably stiffen it a little bit in the sense that, you've strengthened it. But it will have a lovely movement to it. Am I in shot? I'm not in shot. I do apologise. So I'm bringing that all the way back through to wherever I want. And you can just keep going with that. So they're still on either side and I'm just bringing them through and bringing that down. When I'm happy with that, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my cutters or a pair of scissors and I'm going to trim off those ends. So I'm holding it close, making sure I'm only cutting that tail end off. I'm not cutting off the thread that is running in the actual bracelet because then I'll have weakened it or broken it. So I've now got my lovely bracelet with these little loops on either side. Catherine's asking, does the knot hold without glue? I never really glue it. You can add a little dab of glue onto it if you want. You could even use a little bit of clear nail varnish or a jeweler's glue, like one of your e-glues. I haven't, and I find with a surgeon's knot, I don't really need to. Also, because I'm bringing that thread back through the bracelet a little bit, that's also adding that strength to it. So if the bracelet is being pulled as I'm putting it on at all, the tension isn't really on that knot. So I haven't found an issue without using glue, Catherine, but if you want to be super safe, then by all means you do so. Lucy shared the link again for you today. Thank you very much, Lucy. So we're in totalybeads.co.uk/Facebook tutorials/Mariana bracelet. Thank you very much. So now it's just a case of adding on my gorgeous clasp and my beautiful little jump rings. Wait till you see these. They're so gorgeous. They're 4 by 0.7 millimeters. They're so delicate and tiny. They're so cute. And you just use them exactly the same as any other jump ring. So I'm going to take as much of the surface area as I can in my pliers, and I'm just going to give it a gentle twist towards me, or away from me to open it. I'm not opening it out. If I open them up this way, not only am I distorting the shape on my jump ring, but I'm also going to start weakening it as well. We don't want it to weaken, we want it to keep its strength and integrity. So just turn it towards you very gently, or even away from you, whatever you prefer. I'm now going to thread that jump ring onto the little loop of the seed beads that I've made at the end, like so. And then I'm going to take my gorgeous magnetic clasp and I'm going to thread that on too. So there's not a lot of space because it's a lovely small dainty one, but there's just enough to catch your clasp in there and your seed bead loop. Now what I am going to struggle a little bit with is I'm going to turn it with this side of my pliers, because obviously the magnetic clasp wants to stick to my tools. So if I've pulled it towards me gently, I'm just going to move it away to close that jump ring back in place, like so. And then on with the other one. So again, I'm going to get as much surface area with my pliers as I can, giving it a little twist towards me, threading that through the loop that I've created on my bracelet and back through the magnetic clasp. So you've got a little loop on the end of that one too. A little bit of focus, thank you very much. Thread that on through. Oh. So I'm just holding it with the tip of my pliers. And then I'm going to give it a little bend back in the opposite direction. And I have created now a very lovely bracelet, all ready to go and super easy to wear. Look, it's already attached. So I think a magnetic clasp is perfect. Not only do I think it looks really lovely with the bracelet, but if you struggle to use a bolt ring or a lobster clasp, it's a really easy way for you to be able to just attach and take that off with absolute ease. Do obviously, if you have any customers or you're making this for someone, maybe with a pacemaker, that you do let them know that there is a magnet clasp. You can use whatever clasp you want, but you don't even have to try. Just do that and it's fastened. So I hope you like them. I really like them. I think they're a really lovely make. Lucy says they're gorgeous. Thank you so much. Bear in mind, your kits are £5.99 for whichever beautiful colour kit that you like. If you want to, you can get the 2 for £10 deal. Why wouldn't you want to? And your 9 colours of your premium 4mm crystals, your bicones, are only £12.99 today. So we've got lots of bargains for you to take advantage of. Catherine says, gorgeous, thank you very much. You're most welcome. Shelley says, this has been a lovely quick make. It has, hasn't it? Look, I've still got 5 minutes to go. Camille says, lovely. Janice says, beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. You are welcome. Lucy says, very cute make today. Might have a go over the weekend once I've sorted out my stash. It's been a long process. Yeah. The thing is, though, I know what you like, Lucy. You'll sort it out. And then you're like me. You'll buy more. And or you'll be looking for something and you'll get everything out and you'll put it back somewhere completely different. Try and label your kits. We spoke about this last live. If you do have kits that you haven't had a chance to make with you, you might get these beautiful crystal bicones and your Toho seed beads, and you might think, what was that I was making? Just write on it, Mariana bracelet, and you can find that in the tutorials whenever your heart desires. Camille is asking what's on Monday. Well, I've kind of mixed it up a little bit. So I've made lots of different samples for lots of different things. And then I made something and I just thought, I absolutely love them. I'm going to make them on Monday. So on Monday, I'm pretty sure I've scheduled it for Monday. I'm going to be making what I think, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say, I'm going to make a necklace with you, which will be, I think, my favorite necklace that I've made with you so far this year. So I'll let you guess what you think might be included in it. What might we be using? What am I obsessed with? Lucy says, I've got to stop buying. I didn't even realise how much I have. You can never have too much, Lucy. When you can make a gorgeous bracelet like this in no time, get it. Pauline says, lovely design. Thank you so much, Pauline. I really appreciate that. Thank you to Elaine. She says it was a lovely tutorial. And Carol is asking, when am I making for the men? Well, the men can make whatever they like. Why am I making something maybe more masculine? I don't know, really. I've got such lovely beads. I'll have a little think. Is there anything particular you'd like for a man, Carol? Because I think bracelets tend to be the more easy make, don't they? Rather than a necklace or a ring. I might do a ring tutorial with you, which you could use for any and all genders if you would like. Camille is saying wires. No, Camille, on Monday, there's no wire involved at all. You're leaving you hanging. That's a clue. Lucy says, could it be gemstones? Yes, it is. Sheila, it's not wire. Yeah, it is. It's gemstones. Lucy says, men don't like pink, so I'm not interested. That's a very generalised statement, Lucy. Maybe men do like pink. Anyone can like anything as long as it makes them happy. Right, on that note of happiness, I'm going to love you all and leave you. I will be back on Monday, so have a fantastic weekend. Look after yourself. Stay making, stay happy, and stay beading. Take care.